YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video for you guys. Now this comes from a woman who says she doesn't want to be a boss chick anymore. She wants to be provided for. Now this is something that we're starting to hear a lot of women say. You know, a lot of these women were bragging about being boss chicks, being able to take care of themselves, being able to be independent, making their own decisions, calling the shots, that they didn't need a man. Y'all know the whole deal. But since we've, heard women, talk about this, we've also heard women say that they are tired of being boss chicks. They are tired of doing it all by themselves. So now they want a provider. So what's your thoughts on that? Definitely chime in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say, but let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
Hot take, but I don't want to work anymore. God has completely removed that boss babe mentality from me. I desire nothing more than to be provided for. Now let me say, if somebody's providing for you, I truly believe though that you are serving them and serving your family. I don't want somebody to just be providing for me and I'm like laying on the couch doing nothing. I want to serve my family if my husband is providing for me. And it's so funny because for so many years I had this super masculine, I want to be a boss babe and I want to do all these things, and I still enjoy what I do. I run I'm a hairstylist. I run a small business and I make content on the side and I love what I do. It brings me so much joy to spread the gospel online and I get to make people feel pretty all day. It's a privilege and an honor to do my job. However, with that being said, I would much rather be cooking and cleaning for my husband and running my kids to soccer practice. If I had to choose one or the other, I'm for sure every time going to choose my husband and my family. That I don't even have yet, but I know that the Lord puts the desire, he knows the desires of our heart because he puts them there. So it's just funny that the Lord will completely change the way that you think.
I don't know if it's really the Lord or if it's just a lot of these women realizing that they made a mistake. But when it comes to a lot of women who think this way, there's never any accountability. They're not going to tell you they realize that they made a mistake and that, now that they're in it, now that they've chosen this independent boss chick lifestyle, they're not telling you that they're realizing that it's more difficult than it looks. And it's more draining than one would think it is. They're not really being honest, in my opinion, about what comes with this whole boss chick independent lifestyle, that it can tend to be a lonely way to live, that you don't have a companion, you don't have kids, you don't have that, and that is part of what's missing in their lives. It's one thing to be an adult and take care of yourself, because as adults you have to. And it's one thing to work hard and accomplish certain things in life that will afford you a better life. I don't see anything wrong with that. But what a lot of these women don't tell you is that it gets lonely at the top. Women who tend to become financially successful by themselves usually forego husbands and families. Now, does it mean you can't ever have it? No, I think you can, but I think women go about it the wrong way. I said this before. I think because there's a biological clock when it comes to women, it's imperative that you work on finding your husband in your 20s and building a family in your 20s. But you can still have that goal of starting a business and work on that as well. But you got to pick the most pressing thing first. See, it'll be a lot easier, in my opinion, to start your family first, build that up, and then you can always reach back, go to college or finish your college degree or whatever. And you can always start a business and work on that and build that up while you still have your family intact. But I don't think people think of it that way when many other cultures, of every other culture of people does it, they do it that way. I don't understand what's the disconnect when it comes to the black community, where you think you can only do one or the other and you don't prioritize one or the, over the other, but you still want them both. Everybody else does it this way. They go to college, they be engaged in college, they get married, and they start their careers and their families. They do it all the time. It's not impossible. So I just think that women go about it the wrong way. And I think the real thing is women, once they've gotten to a place where their careers are intact, then they look around and they want a husband and kids, but it don't come as easy the older you get. It's not easily attained the older you get. The more set in your ways you are, you find it harder to relate to men. You find it harder to connect with men. You find it harder to find a way to blend your lives together, because once you've become established and you've created a life for yourself by yourself, women tend to not want to deviate from that. They've achieved it, they've accomplished, they put themselves in a position to where they're comfortable, and they don't want a man or anybody else to come in the way of that. So what happens is they tend to want to find a man, but they want a man to get on their program. And that's going to be difficult to do for any man who's successful, any man who has standards and values and morals and knows what he wants his family to look like. It's going to be difficult for you as the woman who's accomplished and all of these things to come in and direct the way you want your life to look, when that is a man's job to control the narrative when it comes to what he wants his family to look like, because after all, he is the leader in this situation. But when you have boss chicks or independent thinkers trying to get a man and build a family, they have what they want and he has what he wants. It becomes it becomes the two of you fighting. You're butting heads because the woman is operating like a man would, because she's successful, probably equally, if not more successful, just as he is. So she's demanding a certain level of guidance and leadership, and he is too. And he, as the leader and the man, has a vision of what he wants his family to look like. If he's successful financially, he doesn't need a boss chick. He wants a wife. He wants a mother for his kids. He wants a woman to be able to be at the house and maintain the household. I think a lot of women don't realize how important that is to men, because they don't value that. They don't see the value in a woman being in the house. They think, oh, that's nothing. A lot of women don't see that as something of importance. They only view education and all of that as something important. They don't understand or value the importance of having a stable home with a nurturing mother for the kids, and where she's focused on that. She doesn't have to go outside the home and work. She don't have to value being a boss chick because she has a husband who is all of those things. He's providing on the level of, hey, we financially are taken care of, and she's providing on the nurturing side to make sure that the kids are being raised and that they are good. And the two together creates a mutual value that's equally as important. They're working together on different aspects of the relationship. We already see when there are two parents working, they're never home, the kids are lacking. The kids end up getting into trouble. They're not as focused. There's issues there. But if you want the best stable household, in my opinion, I think having the mother at the home to maintain the kids in the right way, having the father doing what he's supposed to do, or if you guys can work in a way where you're both kind of there for the most part of it while maintaining y'all finances to support the family, even better, because I think the kids get to see a stable mother and father in their lives, and they're taking care of them, nurturing them together. To me, you get the most stable outcomes when it's that way, in my opinion. That's why it's important to have both parents there playing different roles and making it happen. So that way the kids aren't lacking and your finances aren't lacking. Women are to a point to where they're tired of being these boss chicks, not because God spoke to them in a dream and told them, you shouldn't be a boss chick. No, because they're tired of the load and the responsibility that comes with that. So now they still don't want to work with the man. They still want a man, for the most part, to come in and pay everything, even though they're capable of doing it. And they want him as a fallback so that they can work how they want, as leisurely as they want, or not at all. And he can just be the man there to shore up all the finances and make sure that they're stable. And I still think that is a recipe for disaster. I think you should work together. I think couples are meant to work together. That's what a relationship is really based upon. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, chime in. I want to hear your thoughts on this one, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.